In some questions, you may be required to find the interest rate in questions involving compound interest. For example, in this question, $5,000 was deposited in an account that earned a compound interest, and this compound interest is calculated yearly. That's what it means, that it's done annually. So this is yearly. If there is $7,000 in the account after 2 years, what is the yearly interest rate? So what these guys want us to calculate is the yearly interest rate, R. The easiest way to approach this problem is to use the compound interest formula. Now, we said initially that the compound interest formula is A is equals to P into 1 plus R to power N. Now, in this case, A is $7,000, the final amount that is in the bank. So that is $7,000. And P represents the original amount that was invested or deposited, which is $5,000. 1 plus R to power N, and N here is 2 years. Okay? So what we need to do is to find R. Now, we'll start by separating the bracket. So the bracket is on one side and everything else is on the other side. So we can do that by dividing by 5,000 on each side. So basically 5,000 divided by 5,000, that will be equal to 1. So we'll end up with 7,000 over 5,000 is equals to 1 plus R squared. Now the opposite of squaring is square rooting. So basically what we'll end up with here is the square root of 7,000 over 5,000 is equal to 1 plus R. Okay, so this will be equal to 1 plus R. Now we can find the square root of 7,000 over 5,000 using our calculator. So if you plug this in your calculator, and it will be better if you can use your fraction button in your calculator. So the square root of 7,000 over 5,000. So that will be equal to 1.183. So 1 plus R will be equal to 1.183, which means R will be equal to 1.183 minus 1, and R will be equal to 0.183. And this is equivalent to 18.3%. Example 2, an investment of 5,500 amounted to 8,000 after 4 years of compound growth. What is the annual or the yearly rate of growth? So this is yearly. So again, we are going to use the same formula. A is equals to P into 1 plus R to power N. And then we plug in what we have. A represents the final amount, which is 8,000. P represents the original amount, which is 5,500. And then we have 1 plus R to power N, and N here is 4. So again, the same way, the opposite of multiplying by 5,500 is dividing. So this will be equal to 1. So 8,000 over 5,500 will be equal to 1 plus R to power 4. Now the opposite of something to power 4 is a fourth root. So what we'll end up with is a fourth root of 8,000 over 5,500 is equals to 1 plus R. We have fourth root. If you press Shift and this button, you'll get that function in your calculator which can calculate the fourth root of whatever number that we have. So what we have is a fraction. You can use the fraction button. So 8,000 divided by 5,500. And what you get is 1.0982. So 1.0982, which means R will be equal to 1.0982 minus 1, which will be equal to 0.0982, and that is the same as 9.82%.